The flight was supposed to be just another long haul across continents. Passengers chatted, laughed, and judged one another the way strangers often do in cramped cabins. I was quietly reading when I overheard the whispers and giggles about me. My clothes, my scarf, the way I looked. They didn't know who I was or what I was capable of. Hours later, chaos erupted mid-air when a man slumped forward, gasping for life. Suddenly, the same people who mocked me turned their terrified eyes toward me. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. I had always lived a quiet, disciplined life. Growing up in a modest home, I learned the value of resilience and compassion early. I became a nurse, not because it was glamorous, but because I wanted to save lives where others might turn away. On flights, though, I was used to being dismissed. People often assumed I was uneducated, poor, or unimportant. On that particular flight, I had chosen the window seat in 12F, tucked away, enjoying the solitude. The business class was buzzing, with executives and wealthy travelers. I noticed an older Arab man, dressed immaculately, surrounded by attention. His assistant fussed over him, and other passengers leaned in with admiration. I didn't care much about status. All I wanted was peace during the journey. But little did I know, the difference between my seat and his would soon mean nothing at all. The tension started hours into the flight. I could still hear passengers whispering cruel things about me. A group of women snickered at my simple clothes. One even muttered that I looked out of place. I kept calm, burying myself in my book, telling myself that their words didn't define me. But everything changed when the man in business class, the one everyone admired, suddenly clutched his chest and collapsed against his seat. His assistant panicked, shouting for help. The cabin crew rushed over, but their training only went so far. I recognized the signs instantly. His face sagging, his speech slurred, his body weakening. It was a stroke. The crew's eyes darted around, desperate for a doctor. No one responded. The passengers who mocked me earlier shrank back, horrified but useless. I felt the weight of silence pressing on me. I unbuckled my seatbelt, stood, and moved toward them. The whispers turned into shocked gasps. "What's she doing?" someone hissed. But I didn't hesitate. I knew I couldn't waste a single second. Kneeling beside him, I assessed his pulse, his breathing, and his posture. I shouted instructions to the crew: "Get oxygen, elevate his head, keep him still." My voice was firm, steady, and undeniable. For the first time, all the judgmental faces around me had nothing to say. The cabin was filled with panic, but I blocked it all out. Every second mattered. I worked quickly to stabilize him, ensuring his airway was clear and his breathing steady. The man's assistant sobbed, clutching his arm, begging him to hold on. I pressed into his chest, monitoring, guiding, and refusing to let him slip away. The crew followed my every instruction, handing me supplies and supporting my body. For those agonizing minutes, the entire flight hung in suspense. Then, slowly, his pulse steadied, his breathing evened out, and color returned to his face. The once dismissive crowd stared at me in stunned silence. The man's life, hanging by a thread, had been pulled back because of the woman they had mocked in 12F. Hours later, when the flight landed, paramedics rushed him to a hospital. Word spread quickly. He wasn't just any man. He was a billionaire, businessman from the Middle East, respected and influential across continents. Reporters swarmed, cameras flashed, but what struck me most wasn't his wealth. It was the way those same passengers now looked at me, with gratitude, awe, and shame for ever doubting me. The man's family later thanked me personally, offering rewards I never expected. But the truth is, I didn't save him for money or recognition. I did it because every life matters, no matter who you are or what seat you're in. So, I'll ask you this. How often do we judge people without knowing their worth? Tell me in the comments which country and city you're watching from. Take care.